attempt at kufanya e-live. Karibu sana to another Sanaa kwa Sanaa Sunday session. Nilikuwa na express my apprehension kwa sababu of the misbehavior za kukuwa unreliable that Zuku constantly offers. Niliambiwa niko in a toxic relationship na Zuku somewhere else. So the apprehension ties to that. It keeps disconnecting. Nikianza a stream. So but we are here. Shukran sana for joining another Sanaa kwa Sanaa Sunday session. Tutaona how this will go. Tutajua kama ita sustain, kama itaendelea ama itaanza zile same problems na blunders that nimekuwa nikipitia. I have been suffering and smiling through it because nina otherwise kweli there is one person here. Shukran sana kwa kuwa hapa. Imenipata nikiexpress masaibu yangu na Zuku. Problems. You can't even succeed, you can't thrive because everyone and everything is just unreliable. But naona haijanisumbua yet, maybe na jinx for those who are superstitious. It's just Zuku. Anahitaji hata superstition. Haya, hopefully tutakuwa hapa kwa muda unless kitu kingine kitokee. Acha tuanze hii Sunday session on this 14th day of June 2026. Asante sana for joining. Niambie ulivyo, jitambulishe kwenye comment section that you're watching. Uko na life but you can spare part of that life kuacha comment. knows the song? Who knows the song that has just played? And or who knows the artist? Hayo ndio masaibu nimekuwa nikipitia, na nimetoka tu ku hang some moments ago. That's what I have been going through. So that is a new one that mimi pia nimesikia for the first time vile nimeicheza. Ilitoka jana, I wanted to listen to it, alafu sikuisikiza, then as I was thinking about kile ya kucheza kuanza our session, nikajua kile nitaplay na nikasema acha tuisikize pamoja. That is kama hujaisikiza, naweza assume that hujaisikiza. That's a new song, a new release by Akoth Jumadi. Imetoka tu jana. So hiyo ni Sina Mawazo ya Jumadi, na anasema ni kutoka an upcoming pre-album Barua Za Unguja Volume 1. The pre-album bit of this ni something to note, alafu the volume 1 bit of it also, considering imekuwa muda tangu atoe a full length project, na nilisema hivi a few weeks back when nilicheza Juma, tulimaliza a session na wimbo wake Thum from her debut, but I'll say more on that baadaye. Cha kwanza tusome. So if you're here, naweza nisikia, nipatie a random number between 0 and 200. Does that work? Can it work? Hopefully sijasoma namba utanipa, but hiyo ni stress ya kufikiria baadaye. Kwanza nipatie a random number. Comment a random number. Yes, between 1 and 200, then tuanze. After our starting song we read our dear Hazel says 146. Thank you for being here, Hazel. Kazi ni kututupa tu. Ooh, wow, this is it's a lengthy one. It's a lengthy one. Do you have time? Na nawe pia mwenye si Hazel, uko na time? Huko juu nishaambiwa help sa najua, alafu nashanga YouTube's algorithm is pathetic. It can work, it can deliver occasionally, most of the time ni horrible, na najua wanasikia kile nasema, but unashanganga hizi videos mnazioneshanga tu kina nani hao sasa mi nikusaidieje sasa kwa comment section yani. And then the other thing Hazel amesema, in fact I'm only here for the dreads or weed comment. Nilale. Hata I am surprised tuko hapa na tunajua life yako, but shukran. So 146 falls on the last page of a poem. It's 146, even visible. The reflection in I hit, that's 146. Ni mwisho wa shairi, kisha ukifungua shairi lenyewe ni hapo hapo na hapa na hapa. So Hazel, uko na time? Hazel the story reader, uko na time? Na tu vile the internet provider is doing what they do best, but ni sawa, mi nitaendelea. At this point nimezoea haya. Hazel says I have time. Haya basi. I am glad tumeland on, where tumeland ni Marjorie McGoy, Marjorie Oludhe McGoy the late, mwenye nilikuwa na an opportunity ya ku experience in person na ku experience live back in my campus days. That was the only time niliwahi encounter Marjorie. In the mid 2010s kulikuwa na an event kwa UN na kulikuwa na kikao ile alikuwa a part of, but by that time alikuwa really old kwa ilikuwa siku zake za mwisho, but ilikuwa amazing ku experience someone whose work mmekuwa mkisoma in school, mmekuwa mkichambua, mmekuwa mkiengage na kazi yake, alafu mnapata nafasi ya kumwona in person. So it's one of those memorable events, gifts that UN. The other memorable ones ni strikes, police brutality. Kuna mengi hiyo shule inaweza kupatia mengi sana. So tutasoma Marjorie Oludhe McGoy's August the 1st, The Watchman Speaks. So brace yourself. August the 1st, The Watchman Speaks. A life spent guarding. What there is to guard is not the question. On that day I found myself off guard and mastered, not so much free as free swinging, out of compass, lost. All I had seen ahead caught in the flood of precious wasted oil and dirty blood. A truncheon and a helmet to protect my person in the woodyard. Limpid pop of guns that caused no crying found me pacing around the fence, marking my master's bounds. I did not know the measure of turmoil to come, the wasted blood and dirty oil. One of my boys was in the force. Some neighbors spotted him throwing clothes off as he ran. In camp they kept them naked till the trial. I see him shivering those 12 years ahead, the sweat caked to his body, streaked with mud, weighed down with wasted oil and dirty blood. When the crowd came, what would a truncheon do or claim of faithful service? I stood back while they bent down the fence and scaled the yard bare as a rocky hilltop, drove the lorry into a lamppost, blinded by the toil, lumbering through wasted blood and dirty oil. The path to distant home is heavy-hearted. One child imprisoned, one who's learned to steal and covets what's for stealing. Wife who wonders why I have brought no dresses, why the job is like to founder. What can be the good of guarding wasted oil and dirty blood? One aims to study, yet they say to read is pestilential, perilous. I thought knowledge of law would help us, but it seems even law has its dangers. Let him choose if he can use his knowledge as a foil to beat off wasted blood and dirty oil. The preacher says you tell the simple truth. How can that be? I always have been taught to tell what pleases, shows respect, conforms to clan opinion and advantage. So I did not see what happened to the wood, dazzled by rainbow oil and flaming blood. Does not each person play his role to keep order and office? If one laid heart bare, wept with a woman's pang, grumbled at wage loss, believed a stranger's promise, withheld a vote from drunken kin, would not the world recoil from private judgment lacking blood and oil? No, we accept our places, thus we dare not expose the big cheat and so risk the small, lose on our share of draws and empty acres, the mothers, brothers, sons. At the worst possible time, at the worst possible time, worst possible time. Al- Nasoma hiyo stanza tena, masaibu nayopitia. No, no, we accept our places. Thus we dare not expose the big cheat and so risk the small. Lose on our share of draws and empty acres, the mothers, brothers, sons' shaky diploma. Place in the cousin's treatment queue. What good looking for better than the ties of blood? Down in the valley, fire spreads after fire, leaping and leaking greasy fingers after the bone dry tenders of the poor. To hide in this inferno is near hell enough. The rich once looted, in their turn despoil the bloodless hovels where folk queue for oil. I have sat here day and night, bowing my head, raised hands as ordered, guarded when I could and not been thanked, given back what fell to me and not been thanked for that. I only see shambles, detritus, ragged clothing, mud, pools of residual oil, and dirty blood. We sought for certain easements, but remained bloated with old discomforts. Instruments to cleanse us should be sharp and clean and wielded with knowledge. Out of all our punctured hopes remained the insipid matter from the boil, voided in wasted blood and dirty oil. What did they look for, those tall, loose-limbed boys? If for a kingdom and then turned aside for banknotes, gadgets, girls, they were not worthy even to dream of kingdoms. Dreams go rotten. They had mislaid a purpose, soiled a good in dirty pools of oil and wasted blood. They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old, nor grow wise neither. There is cause to weep. They should have died hereafter. Distant voices that made them drunk with words have no compassion when joined in sentence, speak a strength to spoil, spilled amid dirty blood and wasted oil. Did they seek power or excitement, just a fantasy of bloodshed? In the old days, you could march outwards from a funeral and cause more deaths to celebrate a death. Did they expect to conquer death, who stood defiled with wasted oil and dirty blood? Or did they look for life along the way? Mm. Haya, Some of them felt immune from death, as though they drank the magic water. Did they think, young, able bodied, shouting, they could pass for neutral when the crunch came? Silent they lay, brains spattered in the violence of a flood, retreating from rejected oil and blood. Who then will guard us? Who observe the worn jackets and shoes discarded when the new seemed free for taking? They are wanted back from drains and dustbins now. The missing persons are wanted back. The dreams dragged through the mud are wanted back with the spilt oil and blood. Now there is a dearth of noise. Can there not be a modest piece of plenty? May we read, if not deep books, then deep designs for keeping order and daylight decent and light-hearted? The hum of workshops and shared warmth of soil, pulsing with healthy blood and useful oil. I give my life to guarding the home from want and violence, people that I love from misuse and illusion, self from waste and dirt and empty words, guarding the land to give in plenty of its guarding the land to give in plenty of its needful good, light from its oil and reverence for its blood. Hiyo ni August the 1st, The Watchman Speaks by Marjorie Oludhe McCoy. It's a series. What I have been loving about reading poems from this book ni ini book nilisoma in 2020, the late 2019 2020 hapo, so sijaisoma since then, so this has been revisiting it. What happens when hujaona something ama huja encounter na kuinteract na something for some time, ina feeling ni kama una experience anew. I've been loving that bit of reading poems from hiki kitabu, and this one sikumbuki at all, imekuwa nikana isoma upya tena. Even some of the other poems that tumesoma before, imekuwa ni kama nazisoma for the first time. I've been loving that about it. Alafu naona after The Watchman Speaks, shairi linalofuata ni The Shadow, Patel Speaks. So ni August the 1st Speaks, the next one ni The Shadow, Patel Speaks. So I think we've just tumepata kile tutasoma tukimaliza kuendeleza that thread. So asante Hazel for that. Hiyo ilikuwa selection ya Hazel page 146, which Landon mwisho wa hilo shairi la Marjorie. Asante sana for being here for our Sunday session. Should be a brief one. Shukran to Hazel. Shukran to Abia ambaye muungana nasi, kuona familiar names na kuona familiar from random strangers that YouTube is just showing this live to is always the preference, but YouTube will keep doing YouTube things because that's what companies do. That's what big companies do. But thank you for being here again. Like the video, it's for my validation, importantly for my survival, or both truths can coexist. Abi, kushanga vile tuko live, ujue tu, if you can see from the comment above you, tunakipitia as we have been ule upande mwingine. Hazel has not been there for our struggles recently. Hazel is doing world building stuff, which is what all of you mnafanya. But hizo problems tumekuwa tukizipitia hapa, so unasoma shairi alafu zuku inaamua tu fuck shairi lako, fuck majori, fuck poetry, fuck literature kutuza. Sawa basi, sawa basi. True indeed, true indeed. Tunastorm zuku offices lini? We should we truly should, kama vile ule angry rapper alifanya. Niko huku na rewatch review kumbe mko live. Uja get notification. YouTube is very useless. YouTube najua mnanisikia. I was to say, hii hata session ya leo haina mada to be particular, haina kitu specific, though nimekuwa nikitaka kujua vitu. Mmekuwa mkisikiza ikija kwa Kenyan music. Naangalia tu vile niko pixelated. Toxic relationship. Nimekuwa nikitaka kujua Kenyan songs and projects that mmekuwa mkisikia, that umekuwa ukisikia, vitu umekuwa ukireplay. So I wanted to focus on that or to have a conversation about that hapa. So unaweza changamka kwa comment section, then we get there before nimalize kuzungumzia what I want to. Acha story. It's as simple as kusema projects umekuwa ukisikiza na nyimbo umekuwa ukisikiza, na sana sana zile zime stand out for you, na they have to be 2026 releases. 2026 releases. So projects zile zimetoka huu mwaka na nyimbo zimetoka humu. Nimuuliza hivi alia kwa watu wangu wa Discord. So Hazel, kabla uende wache comment hapa, afu kabla ulale wache pia comment on Discord, mwache jokes. Nilijua Hazel. Mimi najua watu wangu, najua watu wangu, naona sasa. Well, this would be my cue to leave because music has not been listened to for a long while now. After MWE, after kusikia Sanaa ya Mune, AI artist. Hujasikia hii AI music? Where is Karori? Karori should be here. Nimwambia kuja utuambie kuhusu AI music umekuwa. Is anyone here? Is wild. Is anyone here? Karori amekuja. Naona Karori hapo na ni wewe nilikuwa natafuta Karori. That's wild. Ni wewe nilikuwa natafuta. That's ni wewe nilikuwa nimetoka kwenda kutafuta. That's wild. Hazel, so unaweza enda ulale. And I'm only saying this because najua kwa bot kuna kuongelea uchawi, as we once used to say on Instagram sessions, live za IG. So usikuje kuspread hizo rumors hapa tafadhali. This is a community built on love and honesty na kupendana and caring for one another. So usije kuspread whatever it is you're about to spread, whatever you're thinking about typing. So please respect the person. Respect the person mwenye ako hapa tafadhali. So Karori, nilikuwa nilikuwa nimetoka hapa kwenda kukutafuta. Nilikuwa nakuja kukutumia rafa nikwambie, hebu kuja tuambie kuhusu your AI artist wenye umesikiza, alafu narudi naona uko hapa. That's wild. That's so wild. That's so wild. So wild. Unaona Hazel can't help herself. Can't help herself. Just look at the comments anaacha hapa. Nilikuwa nauliza kuhusu wasanii wenye mnasikiza. Of course, kama kawaida, like nimekuwa mkisikiza huu mwaka na nyimbo zile zimetoka huu mwaka, alafu nikaanza kuambia Hazel anaweza tuambia kuhusu AI artists amekama cross kama kuna wengine. Wow. Internet cannot be salvaged, can't be helped. Wanasemanga sikia message, sikia sauti. Sasa hapa ni both, hapa nisikia message na sauti. Siangalie video kwa sababu hatuwezi trust this internet service provider. Hindo alikuwa anasema yaani mlikuwa mnapanga mutiny when nimetoka, mna plot mutiny. Niliacha hizo lakisema bas, let me look for Kenyan AI musician kama wako. Abby can tell you about them. Abby knows a number of them. Abby sasema is a fan of a number of them. Abby knows a number of them. Ntaacha Abby aseme the rest. Acha niachie. Abby knows a number of them. Nitaiachia hapo. Tuna YouTube wamejaa wengi sana. Kushua napata revenue hapo. So ni kama tunaingilia bag ya YouTube na Google. Na nimeweza kuangalia AI did their thing. Saa hii comment ya Karori hapo. YouTube still doing their thing. Watu wana plan kunibully hapa as I was gone, planning a mutiny or a feel a DVD with scratches. Mine's just looping now. Hazel, what do you know about DVDs? Had to refresh. Karori says, I thought mine was the problem. Kuambia Karori ako na a number of them amekuwa kibump. Alafu amesema kwanza acha ni snitch. Love it. So a friend anaanza na choo inaisha na kera, akiambia Tayana atoe wimbo na Bone Spectacle nikajam. Hutaki your MWE, your best MWE Discovery afanye collaborations na watu. Karori, shida iko? What's the problem? Mbona how support wasanii wenye ume come across na whose music you enjoyed? Why? So vile tulifika hapa ni nataka kujua Kenyan projects that umekuwa ukisikiza, Kenyan songs that umekuwa ukisikiza, that umekuwa ukireturn to, whatever una replay, that ni nyimbo na projects za 2026. Karori pia sikukuambia nilisikiza nilisikia mahewa ya your fave. So projects na nyimbo zile zimetoka 2026 ambazo umekuwa ukisikiza kwa comment section, ningependa kuziona. In the last few years since our retirement, this has been the year nimesikiza most Kenyan projects, because I have not been doing that. I have not been doing that. So but this year kwanza, specifically that was April nilisikiza a lot of Kenyan projects. Imekuwa muda sana. Na in that process it reminded me how reviewing is a lot of work. Kwanza, if you take it seriously, kama some people, it's a lot of work, and you wonder how you did that at some point at the consistent level that you did. So to share what we have been enjoying and listening to as the AI music conversation is continuing. But before that, nilikuwa nataka kusema a few weeks back tulimaliza session na Thum ya Jumadi, because alikuwa featured kwa the May 8th Nairobi Jam edition, but the Jam as it's called now edition, at the Goethe Institute. Yeye, Chris Ba na Lair. So kwa that session tulianza na Thum, tulimaliza na Abi the week before, and then tukaenda kwa show akona wimbo wake ukichezwa. So tulimaliza na wimbo wa Jumadi. So this new song imenikumbusha something that nilikuwa nasema earlier. One ni, I said when I'm reading the pre-album bit of it, alafu Barua Za Unguja volume 1 ikisema imenipatia something ya ku think about, ni kwa sababu imekuwa 4 years tangu her last project Yonika ni ya 2022 November, so ni almost 4 years since. Maybe itatoka pia towards the end of the year, who knows, because amesema this is the first single from the project, alafu then on top of that this is volume 1, so inamaanisha kuna a continuation there. Something that Jumadi amefanya na releases zake ni hiyo idea ya combining projects together na having a continuity in kile ana release, cause her debut EP ya 2020 ilikuwa Ereo, alafu 2022 2 years after ilikuwa Yonika. Where is the way? The way is here. So ni kama hizi projects ziko in conversation with one another. Sahi tunaona kuna a volume 1, I'm assuming kuna a volume 2, alafu the idea of Barua is always a fascinating thing from a writing and a songwriting standpoint. Letters kuwa fascinating because of what they do ikija kwa uandishi as a stylistic but also as a creative choice. So ukiangalia books zile zimeandikwa as letters ama zimeandikwa, so letters unaweza in the same arena realm na journals, though they are different. What they operate nayo ni they are personal. They both share that personal aspect to them with factors kama vulnerability na honesty involved, kwa sababu when unaandikia mtu barua, unapoandikia unasikiza wasanii wa Kenya isipokuwa Abi, na tunajua Abi pia ikuwasikiza ni primarily kwa sababu it comes with the territory, it comes with the work, it comes with the labor, it comes with effort, exertion. So can we truly believe it? Hata Ali ilikuwa ni mention, Ali ilikuwa ni mention yu ya Chieng, alikuwa najua utaitaja, alafu ilikuwa niseme iwapo uko hapa na haujui kuhusu newsletter ya ongeza volume, after hapa enda kuongeza volume, hata hapo on YouTube enda kwa kwenye linki na uende kwenye newsletter na usubscribe na uone for kustomiza ofisi for real. Jui ni kazi gani tumewekwa hapa? Hii ni kazi gani tumewekwa hapa? Huwezi hata maliza sentensi kabla EBS. Na nilikuwa na agree na Nyanchama. Tuachane na for mental well-being. Nilikuwa naanza kusema vile Charity alicomment the same. Sikushuka itapita hii part ile inaendelea kudisconnect. I'm noticing kila time ikifanyika the timer resets to 36:20. The 36:20 itaenda past hapo disconnect, alafu inaniambia retry tena. I have to redo this BS because clearly na tumekuwa tukipitia masaibu na hawa watu, na kuna a high possibility that itafanyika leo, and clearly as consistent as Zuku's inconsistency and unreliability and unreliable provision completely not to be depended on. Kama kuna anyone here na understand, I totally understand. Abi amesema watatuma other ISPs hapa juu imezidi problems encountering problems. Let's see. wale wa kuingiza tu leaflets kwa mlango. Sisi mafans ndio tunaumia sote. Tuko sote kwa hii mashua for sure. Tuko sote through hizi struggles. Abi, kama kwako ni project umekuwa ukisikiza, umekuwa ukireplay, kama unadhani ni one of the best projects kutoka huu mwaka, unaweza taja tu, ji excuse out of kuzitaja. Naam, Nyanchama, nilikuwa nimeona comment yako earlier, kuna a newsletter ya Ongeza Volume ile Abi ametupatia disclaimer akisema these works do not represent affiliations or inclinations of the brand, please. I know they don't. I was just referring to the Ovi newsletter that mentioned a song there that is part of You by Achie. So sijui mbona umefeel the need ya kuji explain as you have. I do not know why. We know hizi ni comments za Abi. And not Ovi. Tunajua. Ilikuwa rudely, obscenely, diabolically, egregiously, disrespectfully interrupted, nikizungumzia barua na tekniki ya kutumia barua as a device, as a creative choice in art na what it achieves. And as I'm saying it, hata some moments ago I spoke about this kwa project ya metaphysics nafsi binafsi yenye najua bado hujasikiza nafsi binafsi despite my insistence, my tired insistence at this point. But since when do people listen to me? Since when? Nilikuwa naongelea Barua Za Unguja. Nataka kuona where Jumadi goes with the project, with the idea. Kuna a lengthy description kwa Sina Mawazo, which is the song that we started with kwa this session. But hiyo technique ya kuandika barua iko na a personal nature to it, journals even more so, but nilikuwa nazikorelate nikiongelea the vulnerability and the honesty. Juu with journals na diary entries ni you're expressing kile una feel, emotions unapitia, experiences zako in the rawest form possible, right? Kwa sababu the ideal is that no one is reading this, no one else should be reading this but you. And so kuna hiyo vulnerability, kuna hiyo honesty, kuna hiyo rawness, hiyo openness. With the letter ni you and the person unaandika tu, so kuna again ni personal, ni honest from that perspective, ni vulnerable in those ways. So there's the idea of barua, the idea of letters, now the world that it pulls you into and sets you in is what makes it a powerful device na choice to make creatively in writing kijumla, lakini pia in songwriting. Bring into the conversation metaphysics na nafsi binafsi, debut album yake ya 2022, it's almost 4. I did a conversation na metaphysics late last year kusherekea the 3rd anniversary. Kuna an entire reaction video hapa that is brilliant, if you ask me. Yep. That you should watch. Najua pia but this is why we retired, because no one listens to. So now there's a segment I break down the opening track, the intro, kwa sababu it starts with dear friend. Now what that phrase, what those two words alone, what they do, what your dear friend, as how the album starts, what that does, na the world that ina to open to, na where it takes us, where it brings us, how it pulls us into the world of the album and the story. So that's what makes Letters so powerful, so powerful, so powerful. One of the greatest exhibitions of, because your idea dear so and so, it comes from Letters, and then imekuanga extrapolated when on song it could be, so kwa poetry it could be hizi dear mheshimiwa, dear government, to whom it may concern, to future wife, to future daughter, to future partner, future boyfriend. We've had those pieces, those poems, right? Ni hiyo extrapolation of that letter writing technique being used kwa different art pieces, kwa different art forms. So we see that pia in music, in song, na in hip hop in 2024, one of the most powerful exhibitions and demonstrations of that was Meet the Grams. Yeah, Kendrick akidis Drake, the song that came before Not Like Us. And the way that song starts, nakumbuka nikiisikia, cause of course tuko little, so I was apart, so ilikuwa turning dawn hapa, get a notification, and then I play the song in darkness. Na nakumbuka upon hearing the first two words, I paused, I stopped, kasema no fucking way, nikatoa ilikuwa mmoja kutoa earphones, nikoza this is how the fuck are you starting a diss like this. Na the way Kendrick, it's very similar to your dear friend, right? Similar to your dear future wife, etc. Kendrick starts that diss track by saying, "Dear Adonis, I lost my shit." Na ukiangalia the reaction videos to that song, that happened to different reactors all over the world. It diabolical, insane, and that is a mastermind at work. Again, with Letters, it's you and the person you are speaking to. It's you and the person una address to, and the person who is supposed to be reading or hearing this letter mwenye una address. Sisi tunaisikia as by the way, but kuna mse mwenye anaiandika na mwenye ana intend ifikie, and starting at this ni wild, ni so wild. But and then nimefikiria there is a book we did called, what was the name of that book? As for Me in My House, kuna book fulani tulifanya in school under unit ya Canadian literature. I think it's As for Me in My House. I remember I did a presentation on it, na ni journal entries za the character, and during the early 20th century depression, yeah, depression, yeah, the late 1930s into the 40s, that period. So kuna experiences zake, and also what journal entries does ni, so it gives you hii perspective ya kujua what's happening kwa the world of the story, sort of what you would get from an omniscient narrator who knows everything, na anajua the characters, anajua the story, na anaweza enda anywhere at any point in time, as compared to the I narrator, the person in the I, the first person narrator. But also with journals, it combines both. Of course, haiwezi i-capture as holistically as the omniscient narrator, kwa sababu tunaiona through lens ya the person who is writing hizi journal entries na hizi diary entries, but through them pia tunaget kujua vitu zina happen kwa dunia ya hicho kitabu. But kwa hiyo book unaget, apart from that perspective, unaget kuona the interior world, their mental world, their emotional world of mwenye anaandika hizi journal entries. So hizo ni tips, tricks, devices, choices that writers make that add on to the story and kile wanafanya from a story standpoint. So apart from that, nimekumbuka pia So Long a Letter, a classic African literature book. So Mariam Baba. So just some examples of that. All of this will stem from kuongelea Barua Za Unguja na kungoja kuona kule Jumadi ataipeleka, and just adding perspectives to that. Na huu ulikuwa wimbo wa kwanza, Sina Mawazo. Waiting for the rest and the storyline and the stories, the ideas there. Kingine that nafurahia, and I was tying this to kumwona live, ni Jumadi is doing her thing the way that she wants to. I love that about artistry yake. Nata kusikia hii ngoma, when I saw the song and I saw it's 5 minutes long, nilijambia, this is so Jumadi. This is so Jumadi. And even during the performance at the jam, ilikuwa hivyo. She's doing her thing in her own way. Na how she'll compose and create a song pia speaks to that. Something nimekuwa nikiongelea na different people in different contexts na conversations ni the length of songs, na tumeongelea pia hapa how the TikTokification of music, of artistry, the contentification of music na artistry, the duration of what people are creating is getting shorter, or watu wanakuwa compelled kutumia tricks and things that have to grab attention. Na hiyo idea ya grab attention, because attention iko fragmented, so now kile unafanya has to grab and keep attention, and so that is making people create in different ways. Alafu the idea pia of content, so content has to grab attention, therefore if it does that, kuna retention, or it keeps people watching, therefore that means it's valuable, etc. Hizo BS zote za where we are. So with that, in music may reduce lengths of songs, watu wanaambiwa create with certain thinking about certain aspects of the song, where is the beat that we'll use for the TikTok videos, the Instagram videos, the YouTube shorts, what will people dance to, what will be the catchy beat, hizo vitu zote. And also creating a song and just taking time with different parts of a song, the intro, to draw someone in for the first 8 or even 12 bars, then somewhere kutakuwa na a bridge or a moment ya the music could breathe, and it's just the instrumentation playing without any vocals, a solo somewhere. So the way songs are being composed pia imebadilika, but here we had an intro that took its time, and as I was listening to it, I liked that about it, the idea of a song taking its time na kuku welcome into the world of the song. But also I am fully aware that nazungumza as a minority ikija kwa the music consumption base and how people listen to music. I am fully aware, but ni an observation that I made as nilikuwa nasikiza. So Hata nione what tumekuwa tuki I didn't know she's dropped, but naona ilitoka jana. Ingenipita ilitoka jana, it's just the single ilitoka, that's what nilianza nayo huko. The single imetoka, the whole album bado, but the song imetoka. Haya, shukran sana 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 to Hazel, to Abi, to Karori, to Nyanchama, sana sana sana, and the family holding me down. Shukran. Kando na haya masaibu ya hawa watu. Alafu they get to this point, yani it's so clear hawasumbui, still fuck them. That's a constant. Karori hakutuambia wasanii wenye anasikiza AI, but alikuwa amesema apart from comment yake ya kupata J Cole na Lil Wayne wa AI and ye kusnitch on a wanted collaboration between Istonic na Bon Spectacle. Abigael amesema AI writing comes nothing new SMH. Alafu Karori akasema I felt so deceived with them being AI like. Denial. Abi says I know that feeling. Solution is kizeni music ya 2020 kwenda nyuma. Sahii huwezi jua, you can't tell. Maybe kuna a guitaric sound that you enjoy. Mimi suko na AI. Mostly ni vocal segments, those choral vocal segments. AI composition going on. Alafu Karori amesema I'm curious, tumekosa waandishi like that, tumeanza kuinvolve sonically modified kwa writing camp. No, hatujakosa waandishi, hatujakosa wasanii who can get these opportunities. Wengi sana, more than enough. Abi akamwambia ukigo down that rabbit hole hutapenda, wacha ni kuokoa mapema. Then when I was talking about reviewing, Abi said you're one of one, to be honest, reviewing si rahisi, for real. And then now list yake ile hai represent kampuni na represent brand includes vibes and love songs ya Dex. Sikusikizanga hata safari ya The Journey of 1,000 Words, sikusikizanga. I had a song that I feature kwa mziki ya wiki, the video version of it. In project form, the last time I had Dex ni kwa disco ya Kodong Clan. The last had the band project I listened to Skupenda, which was Party Time, because sikusikizanga ile ya Time. The last one was Party Time, tuli review. Haya, so vibes and love songs ya Dex, you ya Ching. Nyanchama, wewe umesikia Wakenya wenzako kweli? Alafu Hekaya, from Hekaya ya Watendawili, Lavenda na ex wangu. I have heard Hekaya. Kwa Sindamana ya Njiru, yes, sijaisikia yet. Nitaisikiza. Unajua ukiamua kuscour the internet na utype Njiru alafu review next to it, unajua what will happen, right? So if you do so, please come back and uniambie what year that video was published. Nyanchama amesema nisha subscribe to Abby's newsletter. I'm thirsty for good music journalism. I've been struggling and contemplating music journalism a lot for some time. Something to constantly think about in the ever-changing landscape ya media that tuko in. Shikisha ya Wendy K from her Karaha EP. Pesa is also a good listen. So naona from Hekaya alafu Karaha, Abby akona favorites and not the entire projects. But I love that kuna songs from those projects that unapenda. Of course alisema hajasikiza Metaphysics. I know. Najua wewe Nyanchama, nyinyi wote wenye hamnisikizangi. Closer, Shalom and Cheru. I might have seen something regarding that project somewhere. Not sure. Aina moja ya Blinky na MDQ from Now It's Experience Talking. I'm yet to listen. Tukio the Jam, Abby na Roger walikuwa naongelea hiyo project na the songs that they like from it. Alafu Musoti hapendi hiyo project. Actually, Musoti hates that project, is the right thing to say. It is times like this I wish we were still offering our services to you 2, 4 people, 20 people who give a fuck about music reviews. It's in those times kuwa na kikao na tusikie comments za watu because Musoti hates that project. Then Mapenzi Sumu ya Vinyo was supposed to release a full length because alikuwa na a pre-launch concert at Alliance. Ile Liboy alikuwa one of the BGVs, anafaa kutoa full length. Benga XYZ, My Lover ya Mura, Heribai, Gedi na Airosh. Nimekuwa nikipenda releases za Mura sana. Sijasikia Mura in a long time. Sana. Mara ya mwisho nilikuwa na engage na kazi zake naye ilikuwa ile time when was it Yega were having a project and they were around, na kulikuwa na event ile Mura alikuwa involved, Karun as well na some other artists which maybe ni 3 or 4 years ago. Sijasikia Mura kwa muda. And Treasure ya Karun na Big Foot in Your Face of their Eternal EP. Nilisikia Eternal EP in April. I loved the atmospheric nature of the work sana. And that is somewhere that Karun excels because of her vocal style. Her harmony layering. These are things that tulisema when you reviewed Passenger 555 album yake na Jinku. So you see that kwa Eternal as well. Ninakumbuka before that project ama after ameitoa ama somewhere during the process ya releasing, alikuwa anasema vile hii project na phase ile yuko in ni about ya kujiexpress vile anataka na kustay true to her artistry kule itampeleka. I love this. Aya, ya, kumbe mshavunjana moyo kwa comment section na sijaona. Mmevunjana moyo kuhusu AI artists. I love this about AI artists where someone listens alafu mtu anamwambia yo unajua hiyo ni AI alafu it just breaks your heart and completely shatters your world. Kumbe that has just happened. Ay. As I'm scrolling. I love this. Ngoja kwanza before nifike hapo. I think hii ilikuja nikiongelea duration ya mangoma na how Jumadi composes. Nyanchama akisema reminds me I was listening to I Hate the Day I Was Born and it's 18 minutes of lamenting. It was glorious. Last hii wiki imepita tulikuwa tunaongea na Dof na Uchuka kuhusu rumba songs or benga songs, then 15 minutes long, 17 minutes long, or fela 20, 30. So kuona hii imenikumbusha hiyo conversation and thinking about the songs and song structure, compositions changing. So Abi amesema niendelea hizo zimetosha. So Abi, out of hizi zote zile umesikiza, but kuniulize saki hata uzi rank as I think as they are the ones that you've mentioned. Though kuna any umesema closer, is there any project that you love apart from you? Top to bottom kunayo kweli? Kuna top to bottom, sijui kama the Njiru one is a single or a full length. Kuna full length project that top to bottom unapenda? Nasema I think I said that as Nyanchama was asking, alafu interesting. Nimesikiza project ya Kering na ya Keithan zenye zimetoka juzi. Nyanchama, unasikia Keithan na Kering, what is happening? Form ni gani? Hebu niambie, let me in on whatever is happening kwa maisha yako. Hata before Abidin akiuliza kuhusu time nilikuwa nishasema na the one before party time. Mimi sijakuwa nikipenda hizi new releases. I am probably the problem. Yes, you most likely are. We kama mimi. Abi anasema I like the intro to Kering's. The intro, na Abi ako so specific. From Kering intro, kuna hiyo ngoma from now it's experience talking ya Blinky na MDQ. Kuna hizo ngoma mbili from Wendy K's. Ako specific. Si kila kitu, see the whole thing. Alafu Nyanchama, now this is where the heartbreak comes in. The heartbreak, alafu na pia Abi ameagree Nyanchama. Nasema kuna mwanamuziki anaitwa NK Njoroge ambaye dadangu aliniput on. Then Abi says, one, you're not the problem, Nyanchama. So some affirmation there. No, meaning you're the problem. Then Abi says, NK Njoroge ni AI bro. I live for this shit. If there's anything keeping me out of retirement, time to come is and Chama says, in their earth-shattering moments, fuck my life. For real, LOL. Then what? When I go stages a grief. I was like, I hate this. Am I the problem? I live for these kind of things. Yeah. Then Abi says, I am so sorry. Then Chama says, hadi naanza kudhani nyinyi ni hater. Yes, we ni hater. Tunajua we ni hater. Tunajua. Abi says, I'm sorry. Yeah. I live for this. if not for anything. Alafu yeah, a couple of people don't like that MDQ and Blinky project. Then on Mura amesema 3 years ago ama 2 hiyo ya Yega maybe ilikuwa 2023 maybe. Then top to bottom hakuna. LOL dadangu ndio amekuwa akitoa hizi form, aanza kusikiza kina Kithan na Kering. Hata sijasikiza the single that Kering alitoa. I saw kuna a single, I'm here to listen to it. Kithan pia amekuwa akitoa singles hapa pale. Abby, do you have anything to say about Kithan's singles and how you feel about them, what your thoughts are about them? Nyanchama, umezisikiza nam? Maoni yako kuzihusu ni yepi? Actually, swali niliuliza, Abby alirespond to you, but swali niliuliza ni projects zile zimetoka huu mwaka na singles na nyimbo zile umesikiza that umekuwa ukireplay na that unapenda na that zina stand out kwako. So haya, Abby says sitaki ku break more hearts, he already hates me. Haya, sisemi chochote. Umenikumbusha. Mwenye nilikuwa nakwambia ni a friend huo alikuwa ananiambia, walikuwa anazungumzia Kithan na mwenzake. I remember that, nisa kumuuliza. Nimekumbuka. Nitamsumbua. Sidhani yako hapa. My UK correspondent, are you here? You the UK world builder hapa? Are you here? I don't think so. Kwangu I would say Nyanchama anasema sina jibu basi kusema ukweli. Alafu Abi anasema but honestly imekuwa ngumu kusikiza AI assisted works zenye zinasikika na hazisikiki. That will never know. Which is, it's one of those things we have to contend with. Ni whatever is coming out post AI, hauwezi jua whether it's AI or not. It could be something tiny. Or something grand. It could be the foundation of the song. It could be the chord progression. It could be a 1-bar guitar lick. It could be anything. It could be the foundation of the song, but maybe it's a sample that imekuwa distorted, ikakuwa recreated na this AI. Juu kuna producers wenye I watch, right, creating music, right? Kaylin Ellis, Ogosh na so sijui at the moment what Kaylin Ellis's thoughts are on AI. Kuna time I used to watch him heavily, and so kwa stream ningemwona akitumia, there was Haikuwa Suno. I forget the name. Because also Ogosh alikuwa anaitumia maybe a year or 2 ago. I forget of that. Haikuwa Suno. See off top. Yes. Ilikuwa ni audio. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. It's the one. And so so what they do, how they create ni sometimes, not all the time, sometimes so they have communities, alafu kwa hizo communities kuna music, kuna music makers, kuna musicians, kuna sample creators, kuna producers hapo, kuna beat makers, so instrumentalists, so they would send samples ama they send samples huko, alafu they use those samples to create. So and so sometimes atakuwa na sample then anaweza ongeza vitu alafu a convert that entire arrangement or segment into an audio, alafu I upload to audio, alafu aekea prompt ya kile anataka, alafu impatie something, and then from that they can pick something from there. It could be kuna this vocal segment or napenda this segment, amacha nichukue hii ni recreate tena, and then pick the whole thing or break it into bits, and so that's how walikuwa incorporate into their processes, right? And nakumbuka because I think I knew about audio from Killian Ellis maybe 2 or so years back, nikiona akitumianga, alafu because that was the rise ya watu ku incorporate AI into their creative works, ilikuwa a discourse people were having. So kwa streams tofauti watu wangeuliza mawazo yake kuhusu, then angesema unazitumia kama tool, incorporate etc. Later on I just caught a statement of his kwa a different video akisema ako anajua what was happening behind the scenes, na ako anajua as at the time what was happening, so ako na the full picture, but siku get ama at this point sijui his fully fleshed thoughts on AI and where that sits ikija kwa music. Alafu pia in the past year or so sijaona wakitumia hizo platforms, sijaona wakizitumia as they once did, so there's that part of it that this has reminded me of, but the point just being post AI hawezi jua what is AI, what isn't AI. It could be anything, any bit of a song, but hawezi tell unless hizo obvious moments kama for vocalists unasikia ukoza unaweza sikia the synthetic nature of that voice and your harmony or how someone is holding a note because this is so kama si hizo ama hizo obvious moments on songs kuna hiyo changamoto ya hauwezi jua what is what isn't. So ndo Abi amesema imekuwa ngumu kusikia AI assisted works zenye zinasikika na hazisikiki, that will never know. Na zenye zinasikika na hazisikiki, that will never know. But speaking of producers, kuna wenye wamecreate full AI artists. It gets worse every day. It does get worse by the day. By the day. So I mean, sijui kapa the artist yuko. Is Xtian's AI artist still on Spotify? And the thing is, you can just tell this is AI BS, AI slop, very horrible, very terrible, nothing. It's so disappointing. There's nothing unique, nothing special. Just bland generic shit. Ikonvo iko ya AI. Alafu Abi zenye umemention umependa umekuwa ukireplay. The ones Abi amemention, since most of them ni singles from projects, hizo amekuwa akireplay. Hata utaona a song there from not as much. Okay, I thought some songs here you've been replaying, but amesema hakuna full length, hakuna a full project ile mwanzo hadi mwisho amekuwa ile amependa, which is the album making craft is something that tumeongelea sana kwa reviews na kwa hizi conversations. Tumeziongelea pia kwa MWE conversations, how Kenyans craft make albums. Pia mbona ulisema tukusikizangi? I was typing when you said that I didn't follow. You see au nisikizangi? Yeah. The beauty of being an improviser. The beauty of being an improviser. You see, do you see how these things write themselves? Just proving my point, effortlessly. Yeah. Ah. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. So Abi amesema I just like them. Alafu replay not as much. Nimekuwa nikigo back to older music juu ya how much new music I consume. Ni ngumu for them to stick. Wacha tuone by the end of the year nisipo give up on this life. Life unaweza give up on. I mean, most of us. Pia new music stick is a challenge pia because of the amount of music that is available and that demands your attention. It becomes problematic. Kwangu sijakuwa nikireplay any Kenyan projects hivo. Nilikuwa na sample vitu zimekuwa zikitoka, but those that I enjoyed listening to, I enjoyed parts of Hekaya. I enjoyed parts of Eternal. We'll need to revisit it for certain. I enjoyed some songs from Genge Soul ya Billy Black. Kuna segment nipenda some songs there. Full length ile nitasema ili ni capture completely top to bottom, ni Ngomani ya Banje na Kasiva. That one for sure. Na also projects zile nimesikia huu mwaka that I enjoyed, also Desturi ya Kasiva because nilisikia for MWE. Alafu of course Mwihoko ya Njoki, Abby's fave. At least a fave that Abby agrees is definitely one of her faves. So Caesar this year, of course, with that disclaimer, I'm a remark, but nilizisikia for MWE hiyo Njoki, Kasiva, front to back hizo. Alafu mata release ya this year that top to bottom nilienjoy ni Ngomani ya Banje, Banti Sak Ovunganisha na Kasiva Mutua. That one definitely. MC. That was last year, towards the end of last year, but nimesikia sana this year na sana mwanzo wa mwaka. Akili Blacks Snappy 8 ilitoka late last year. but nilisikia during those last weeks alafu into the beginning of the year that Snappy 8 Albi anasema wait, it is a guy from Unganisha. Oh my days. Huko najua ni oh, pia Labdi's because nilisikia nilisikia EP ya Labdi. Nilisikia EP ya Labdi. Nilisikia EP ya Labdi. Tuende Labdi's Bandcamp. Niseche Johera. Pia top to bottom. Yes, Seche Johera. The EP, it's a 3-track EP. That one really enjoy. Yes. Ooh, I'm glad I've remembered now that I'm on Bandcamp. Sijaenda but nimekumbuka. Let me look for the exact title. Ngoja. I am watching a planet. I'm watching a planet die. You see, let me look for it. Let me just look for it. Listen. Go listen to that work. There's a time I wanted to put people on and share it mtandaoni. I never got to do that piece, but I'm witnessing the death of a planet, one being at a time, by Mudhoni ni Mimi. Go listen to that sound work. That one. Yeah, because ilitoka March. Well, that's a long title, Rudia. I'm witnessing the death of. Acha nikiata the link of fact. Sitko hapa. For posterity. Acha niweke hapo. Ndio hiyo. Alafu acha niweke pia. Acha niweke Akili Black. Snappy 8. Taka ilitoka mwisho wa mwaka. Snappy 8. Sijui mbona hawakuweka Ngomani on Bandcamp. I do not know. Acha nitupe tu hizo links zote hapo. Alafu hiyo ni ya Labdi. There we go. Ala, Zuku imefanya nikadisappear. I thought nilikuwa nimepotea. Oh, nimepotea. Ala, sija notice. Nimerudi. Links ziko kwenye comments. So if you're watching this na unataka kutafuta the projects, nimeziweka hapo kwenye comments section hizo links, you can check them out. Uzisikize. For me, project of the year ni Ngomani kwangu. So the musicality on there. And I'm waiting for what Chika does na kule hiyo project itaenda. It ties to the video that I shared early today. Sijui kama umeiona. There's a reaction video I have shared early today. So that song is part of a larger project. Unakuja kuiona. Alafu Nyanchama pia alisema wait, releases zako, I mean exclusives. But so hizo haziko out. Hizo hazi-exist. I mean exclusives. Then Abby agrees and says, yeah, those two, they don't exist. Haziko popote. Alafu wait, pia release ya band company imekuwa niki replay. Then Abby says, kwanza ya this Friday. Then Nyanchama says, so genuinely good. Nyanchama ndio kwa sababu ameongelea giving up. Nyanchama ndio kile anasikiza tu ni vile one day it will all be over. What happened to people loving life? Kwa Genge Soul, kuna some songs hapo kwa midsection that nilipenda. Alafu there's a song ilikuwa kwa, let's see, is it Falling? There is Falling, sindio? There is Falling there. Let me see kama I actually remember them. Yes, Falling. I think I also liked Dear Irene. Apo Dear Irene, Falling. I think I loved those. And then maybe Njia as well. Na Trufena. The Trufena siko completely certain. But your segment ya Dear Irene, Falling, watangoja Njia, hapo I think ilikuwa my favorite bit. Njoki my love, you agree? Out of retirement, huh? Out of retirement. So kuna reaction video on a song called Masai by Jua, which is a duo, a Kenyan Ethiopian Kenyan duo. The Ethiopian artist's name is, let's see, is it Israt Irat? See if I know the name correctly. Isat Irat, and Mr. Lou. Isat Irat, producer DJ duo. Alafu wana feature Silayo kama the vocalist. They reacted to that song, part of a project called Chika that imeincorporate wasanii kama 30 kutoka nchi 7. So been building easy sounds and music that should be releasing karibuni over the past 2.5 years. So that's the song I reacted to. Nahoja kuona the project. The reason mention ni imenikumbusha about Banje na Kasiva's Ngomani in the fusion that is there kwa hiyo project. So unajua huku pia kuna a lot of fusion happening, which reminds me of Ukweli na Zinia and what they have in store. But najua they just released maybe 2 last year November, so najua itakuwa muda before tusikize wote wamekuwa kiwakia, but najua what they have in store na pia kile ukweli anawakia, there is something he told me he's working on that sijui when that will be releasing, but I'm also looking forward to such releases. I still have a lot to listen to that Abi amekuwa akiongelea kwenye comment section, na pia hizi listening parties ameenda wasanii amekuwa kiplaylist. No. I'm waiting to engage. Sijasikia exclusives. Sinyi ndio watu exclusives, mnasema kuna msanii mmekuwa mkisikiza. Tusikizi Nyanchama says tusikizishe hiyo project ya mwini. That title is fascinating. I mean, okay, fascinating. You sound like I'm a sadist. Are you not? Abi says yes, same, then maybe endearing. Ooh, same. Taneza. The thing about that project ni hauwezi, it's hard kui separate. Hata ukiangalia how imereleasiwa ukienda Bandcamp utaona what I'm saying, the length of the thing it's hard kui separate. Neza icheza, let me see. I don't go back to them as much, but those are the ones I liked. Reaction video Mindosha Under the Bus. Aje sasa. Your fans should thank me. Mmesikia? Hiyo ni kazi yako na furaha. Hiyo ni kazi yako na furaha. Actually nikutuza. Kazi yako na furaha. Otherwise mi ningeendelea kuexist in my no, na Abi amesema ni 1 hour. My kind of stuff. Let me see kama naweza icheza. But go watch that reaction video. Go watch a comment. Leave a comment on that reaction video. Like the video. Lie to YouTube. Nitoka retirement last year na video ya Romy yenye huja watch. Now do you see why? Anyway, what can I say? What can I say? What can I do? Most times you should feel so guilty. Because you are not part of the solution, you are a part of the problem. We have to rise up. Abi amesema tulishafanya hizo zote. Thank you Abi. Nyanchama, mpia uko kwenye uwanja wako. Acha tuone.
Feeling like your creative subscriptions are pulling the chair out from under.
AI advertisements. Kuambia. Okay, let's see. Ningeuliza now it makes sense. Unajua I thought ukisema kwanza ya Friday, kwa mind yangu I thought mnaongelea cause Nyanchama alikuwa anasema pia release ya Bandcamp nimekuwa nikireplay. So genuinely good, but then Abi akasema kwanza ya this Friday. So Abi alikuwa anaongelea something different. Nyanchama was talking about the Bandcamp demo. Then Abi was speaking about something else. Okay, so inside imeclick. Inside imeclick. Haya, hata tumefika mwisho. We have a poem to read and a song to play tukimaliza, so we shall do that after. Okay. So I didn't remember that. So I go in a click Friday. I thought that thing was released that other week, so haikuwa ina make sense kwangu. I thought mna refer to the thing. Okay, makes sense. Now it's completely home. Nyanchama ulikuwa umeenda kama kama si wewe kuitisha confident something kwa a different forum in the wee hours, kumbe you had left before goodies were delivered. Nasema the same thing, the exclusive on Friday. Haya basi. Haya, I'll play this for maybe 5 minutes, alafu read and then finish with the last song. Kama kuna any other comments zije, any projects, any songs, things you're listening to. Abi, now that umesikiza thank God it's replayable. Now that umesikiza nafaa kwenda ku cut those parts out on the YouTube editor. Now that umesikiza a lot of releases, what are you observing ikija kwa creative direction za those songs and those projects? Haya, this is Witnessing the Death of a Planet, One Being at a Time by Muthoni Nimi. Their latest release, March this year.
To die in the city is to die quietly, yet violently. Blood leaking through the cracks of progression, feeding into the sound that is development. The turning of wheels, the turning of time. From noon, tomorrow's eve. To die in the city is to wish you had lived, and with your last breath smell the industry to which you so religiously give, and watch them replace you before the war fades from your skin. Life goes on. System goes on. Would you believe me? Broken mirror shut the window to my soul. Devoid of meaning, see the world through a giant telescope. Would you believe me? Broken mirror shut the window to my soul. Devoid of meaning. Oh, la 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 la.
Tukio agakirera munda yake akarera kinya agakinya utaithi. Haya, akorwo nĩ anyitwo nĩ ruo agakĩikara nyũmba nongia.
Bury your children and bring them
aikara nyũmba nongia akaheo mwana.
to turn the wheel to their calloused to change the world, even rose petals bleed. Burn the garden with sunlight.
Magĩkomaga
Isn't the opening 6 minutes of I'm witnessing the death of a planet, one being at a time, by Mudhoni ni Mimi, released in March of 2026. Tafadhali, go give it a listen. Find an hour and 5 minutes in your time to sit with it, where that is all you're doing, where that is all you're listening to. That's how ningekusihi na ningekuhimiza uisikize. Usisikie kwa speaker, usisikie vile nimeiplay hivi kwa speaker. Pods, earphones, headphones, tafuta something that utaweka kwa masikio and slot an hour and 5 minutes. An hour and 5 minutes or somewhere there is also the same duration ya Nafsi Binafsi ile hujasikiza in my years of preaching. Hiyo pia ni another album ningekusihi kwa mara ingine for the umpteenth time utafute earphones, headphones, pods, whatever, ukae nayo usikize. But this is I'm witnessing the death of a planet, one being at a time, an hour and 5 minutes. Sit. Ukae tu uisikie in that way. That's the best way ya ku experience this work. That's the best way to experience this work. Hata ukiangalia Bandcamp, as Abi alisema ni 1 hour release like that. So it needs an entire thesis breakdown. That's what it needs. But with that being said, tusome shairi. Nyanchama amesema wow. Abi says I'm invested. Nyanchama tena, that was a baby girl that was born. And Abi tumekusikiza. Nafaka Teta kasema calm down, referring to metaphysics. So nilikuwa nimesema Abi amesema hata tuambia observations zake, amesema not the time to discuss that. Maybe we'll one day get maoni yake, maybe the next newsletter, you know, who anyway. Tulisoma August the 1st, The Watchman Speaks by Marjorie McGoe tukianza, na nika notice ni a series, and so the next one ni The Shadow, Patel Speaks, alafu tumalize na wimbo wa mwisho. Shukran sana kwa mara nyingine for being here nami for another Sunday session, despite what Zuku does best. Asante Abi, asante Nyanchama, asante Hazel, asante Karori. My people, always lovely to spend time. The Shadow, Patel Speaks. My granny used to say that if a shadow of the unclean fell on you, then a curse would follow. We all laughed, but now it seems the shadow is upon us. We left her there in India, brown, wrinkled, peacefully glad a lifetime of neglect had sheltered her from any palpable ill. Her fading was unshadowed. We condescended, confident in our schooling in masculinity, returned to Kenya, southward and lofty-skied, where dawn and dark cast a brief, slanting shadow. True, we protected one another, did not lose mother unescorted to the sun of blazing noonday or the evening cool when groups enjoy the shadow. But in that small town life, learning a language as pliant as our own, shattering off temples and schoolhouse, thoughts and doubts and fears, we did not heed the shadow. There came a day of fear. We had not bargained in all our bargaining to stand and measure the size of our estrangement. Handshakes, subscriptions did not avert the shadow. The girls, of course, are safe. The door was bolted firmly upon them. Cloth and cash machines, gold braid and bangles met desire enough and overshadowed other lusts. But when we meet to set the dowry forth and give their innocence our best, come questions. Boxed in from choice and daylight, yet their future has been invaded by a shadow. The pyres of those whose refuge was in burning flame on our indecision. Have we met the gods? Will truly, if our caste still throws along a shadow, than their have we met the God's will truly if our caste still throws along a shadow than their virtue? Goodwill and good intentions have not mastered the separate demon or sequestered blessing. We must invoke a more than natural light to cast away the shadow. Such beautiful writing, both poems. Shukrani kwa mara nyingine. If you're watching this baadaye, asante. Like the video if you haven't yet at this point, which I wonder why. Alafu as nimesema, uende uone hiyo reaction video tafadhali. Our attempts at making retirement isiwe that futile. Na tutamaliza tukisign out na that same song. Oh, and those, as always, Fak Zuku. As always. Haya, shukran sana. Until the next one. Chatuskize jua. Nyanchama says the chants are so enjoyable. It's a jam. Wow. Again, ndio maana unafaa kuwa unaona vitu. Link iko hapo, iko kwa the page. Haya. Kwaheri ya kuonana. Shukrani sana kwa wakati wako. Until the next one.